Well, Rich, I think the Cleveland Browns, when it's all said and done, they do end up going quarterback at 1, and the intrigue, the fun starts at number 2. David, I'll ask you, should they take a quarterback at number 2?
I'm in the minority, and I know people are going to, say, okay, he's a friend of Eli, so that's why he's saying this. But I really think that you have a small window. You don't know if any of these guys are going to be a 2-time Super Bowl champion, 2-time Super Bowl MVP that you could possibly draft in this draft. You have that guy on your roster right now. Granted, he hasn't had the best success in the last few years, but if you put some guys around him, I've seen this guy with a great offensive line. The other person that's seen him with a great offensive line is Dave Gettleman, and he's back in the building, and he's the guy that's pulling the trigger and going to make the decision on what they draft at number 2. So I feel you can go out. If Saquon Barkley is there at number 2, why not couple him with an Odell Beckham, another Ingram at tight end, and really put some fear in some defenses, and then maybe build up the offensive line in free agency. So I think that you stick with Eli. Try to get what you can get. He's a great football player. No guarantee these guys are going to be that.
Go ahead, Charlie.
Well, this is not because you're a friend of Eli and I drafted you that we have to agree. But I just look at it this way: best player available. Okay, I take Darnold 1. I got Barkley there. Then I got Rosen, Mayfield, and Allen. I got more questions about those 3 than I do Darnold. I'm going to take Barkley right there. Mm-hmm. We know Gettleman's going to make that offensive line better because he's going to spend a lot of dollars to prove himself right on that one. Right. Okay, and he's the right thing. But I tell you what, I'm not quite with you on Eli here. I think we're buying something that's a little bit false, but they will have to get a quarterback some point in that draft to start at least the process.
Charlie, good morning to you. Let's continue that Giants conversation. Where do you feel the Giants' strategy is when we're talking draft?
Well, first of all, the number one thing they had to get in the offseason was a quarterback. That hasn't been addressed yet. He's done a good job addressing the offensive line. You're going to move Flowers to the right tackle, Solder at left, Amame, get him in there at guard. You get Pugh back all of a sudden. You look like a football team. But the big decision is going to be, do you take Barkley at 2 or do you take a quarterback at 2, whether it's Darnold or Rosen, Mayfield or anybody else you're going to take in that point of time there. So Josh Allen. But I still come back to, and Kim is right, you put Barkley in there, and all of a sudden, you got a heck of an offense. But are we kidding ourselves about Eli Manning? That's really the question.
So you're thinking quarterback is still
2.
very much in play there for the Giants.
I think that's the number one thing going to be talked about in the entire spring, rating those quarterbacks. That's the single biggest thing they're going to talk about this spring.
Don't forget Davis Webb.
That's right. 3rd-round pick a year ago. Of course, thought we might Charlie shaking his head, but thought we might see him a little bit at the end of last season. Didn't end up doing that.
For the Giants, Kim Jones joining us right now. She's in New Jersey. Pay no attention to the Jets logo behind Kim right now as we talk about their co-tenants for the Giants. You have the floor. What are the Giants thinking right now?
Well, it's a good day for Eli Manning, Rich. It's been a good offseason so far for Eli Manning. The new regime there has said he's their starting quarterback. Eli has wanted that. He now has it going into the 2018 season. He is a blindside protector. And for Eli Manning, Rich, it's big that he goes into a game not only believing in the game plan, believing in the players around him, but believing in his protection. Yes, I know in his biggest spots, he has made some remarkable plays under duress. I get that. But no quarterback wants to live that way. Eli has lived that way an awful lot. This move with that guy right there, Nate Solder, allows the Giants to be more flexible with Eric Flowers. They've had to use him at left tackle the last few seasons. You might see him on the right side this year in a year where he really has to prove something. That might be good for a relatively young player in this league. But the Giants had to address the offensive line, and they did it today with the biggest position and a very big player who was available in free agency, the best tackle available in free agency. For the Giants to land him is a very big deal.
And then that allows more flexibility, I guess, to use the phrase that we've used quite a bit in the first, let me check on it, half hour of the new league year right here live on NFL Network. Because the Giants sitting there at 2, they could, if they want, choose the heir apparent to Eli Manning, whoever the Browns don't take.
That would be spicy.
If the Browns do take a quarterback number 1, they could take Saquon Barkley, put him right behind Eli Manning and say, that's Saquon, that's Odell, that's Eli, that's his new protector, Nate Solder. Try and stop us. They could take Quentin Nelson and stick him right next to their new left tackle and have a tremendous left side of that offensive line for Jonathan Stewart. What do you think the Giants are going to do on this front?
I think they got to get playmakers. I mean, if Saquon Barkley's there at number 2, you've got to do something. We saw the Ezekiel Elliott effect on the Dallas Cowboys. I think it could have that type of impact on the New York Giants. Look, this is a team that basically just relies solely on Odell Beckham for their offense. Pat Shurmur comes in as the new head coach. It's going to be a West Coast-based scheme. It's going to be a timing-based offense right here. So Eli's going to have to change up a little bit.
Listen, remember guys way back when, 2011 when Eli won a Super Bowl? He had Brandon Jacobs and Ahmad Bradshaw.
Yep.
Okay? They got to run the football. Eli needs a running game. They're fortifying that offensive line. Gettleman desperately wanted Nate Solder because he didn't get Andrew Norwell. They're trying to protect him, and they're trying to run the ball. I think they go running back, and the addition of Jonathan Stewart says a lot.
I think every year we talk ourselves into thinking that guys other than quarterbacks are going to be in those spots. Every once in a while there's a Myles Garrett or something, but I think it'll be a quarterback because it's such a unique opportunity for the Giants. You say, we're never going to be this high again, and we want to get our guy for the future. Or you trade down to a team that wants a quarterback there too. I think it's going to shake out with these 3 or 4 guys. Teams are going to start targeting. Some are desperate, right? I mean, we have teams that have starters for now, but
Buffalo's got to get up.
Buffalo's got to get one. The Jets have to get one. The Browns have to get one. I think the Giants are probably going to get one.
Bills aren't high enough, though, right? They haven't,
Not yet.
even with the trade of Cordy Gunn, they're getting. What are they?
I think
are they in the country code or the area code?
Yeah.
Or do they have a local prefix?
They're in the area.
I listened to you a lot at the Combine. You kept saying Barkley.
Well, look,
Over and over.
I think they need star power. I think this is New York City. This is a 3-win team. Giants fans watched Eli Manning get sat by a coach that everybody in that town knew was a dead coach walking, and they just saw whatever's going on with Odell right now. They need a fresh face, somebody who they will never have to worry about whatsoever. That's Saquon Barkley. That's Jay-Z's client. The kid, his dad's from the Bronx who wanted to play for the Jets. I mean, go ahead and pull the trigger on something like that.
I won't be mad if they do. That sounds good.
I look at Pat Shermer coming there. And as much as you want to talk about Case Keenum and what he did with the Vikings, that was a run-based offense with Dalvin Cook first and Latavius Murray. You get that running back who can carry the freight. That changes how you can call a football game.
And Gettleman goes and gets Jonathan Stewart.
Yep.
Gettleman wanted Norwell. I mean, he was.
And the connections there with
he was
Carolina.
trying to poach. I know. He was trying to poach left and right there.
You guys make a persuasive case.
Sold?
I'm sticking with quarterback.